Have you?
No. But I got a new guitar for Christmas, so now I can do that.
Oh, sweet. He got a new guitar, but he still hasn't put together the new audio clip. Guys, Texas house prices are going to freaking implode. Holy crap, we're all going to lose the value that we gained over 2020. Look, if you don't believe me, look at this. Wait, where's my screen? Look, Newsweek says so. Newsweek freaking says we're all going to lose our money.
They're never wrong.
Guys, Chris Peshek, broker associate, that's a realtor at Peshek Properties in Dripping Springs, Texas, which is just outside of Austin, Texas. That guy, Steve Babcock, he is a mortgage loan originator for Motto Mortgage. See motto.link down here in his description. It's after hours real estate. It's Monday. It's after 5 o'clock. We get together and we talk about articles and headlines and real estate and all the stuff. But, it's after hours. So typically, we do the alcoholic beverages thing. Steve?
Yeah, I'm in the dry January. So I haven't been drinking. It wasn't my idea. My wife wanted to do it. And then she got promoted at work again. And so the day after she suggested it, she got the promotion and she said, well, the hell with it. We'll drink on the weekends. So we're having some drinks on the weekends, and now it's Monday. And I figured in the spirit of the hell with it, I would drink for the show. But after that, I'm finished. But I did get this nice glass.
That's beautiful.
And fill it with the appropriate, with the beer.
And by the way, HEB, if you're missing a Stella Artois glass, I found it.
Not HEB, it's Lowe's. It was Lowe's. They're not going to use them. They're not going to use them.
No, they'll never use them. They
didn't say anything when I checked out with it. I was like, this is cool. It's fine. See you later. Bye. Cool.
Dude, what I just heard from you was it's the first Sunday of January, which is Quitters Sunday. So you're already off the wagon. So in true fashion for dry January, I'm drinking water with my Colorado trout on my glass.
No, I love you, and I'd be impressed, except that you've had a dry spill for a while now. So I'm just going to say,
oh no, I have not, brother. I just turned 50. It was not dry. All of December. All of December was wet as you can imagine.
Can we describe it somehow else, please? I'm not sure I really like that.
There. All right, so let's get into this seriously. I'm gonna
my wife was just on the phone with her dad, and he was talking about how much snow they got. And he goes, "Yeah, they got 10 inches downtown," and I went straight to 8th grade mode, and I gave her like a little 10 inches downtown kind of thing. We don't have to go there.
Giggity.
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. So also on this show, yes, you're dealing with 2 middle-aged teenagers, obviously.
I gotta go.
Back on this, Newsweek, Texas house prices are forecast to fall in 31 cities. God, I didn't realize there were 31 metros in Texas.
Do happy headlines sell or do scary headlines sell?
Okay, first sentence. Home prices are likely to fall in 31 metropolitan areas across Texas throughout 2025, according to a recent report from Norada Real Estate Investments. Have you ever heard of that company?
No, they sound neurotic, but no, I have not.
They kind of do. These include the capital, Austin, which is expected to see home prices fall by 1.8% by January 31st. Oh, but wait. 0.4% by October 31st. Wait. Did that first sentence just say, or that first paragraph just say that our home prices are going to improve in the year of 2025?
They teach you in journalism that you get all the good stuff out up front, right? And then you talk about it later. And you don't need this. They've done so much up front. There's no need to read on. You're telling me what we've been experiencing is going to slow down. You are projecting that it's going to massively slow down.
Yeah, by 0.4%.
Yeah. By roughly the end of the year, and that also kind of implies that if it's going to keep slowing down, then it might actually go up. So we might be out of this in a year. Is really what you're predicting, I think.
That is exactly what I'm seeing. Like I am seeing that they're saying that their terrible prediction, Texas house prices are forecast to fall in 31. Their terrible prediction is that we're going to have a stable market in 2025. Now, I'm going to add context on this. Wait, let's see why it matters first, because they said it matters. Housing experts are looking at Texas as one of the housing markets in the country, with Florida most likely to experience significant price drops this year as demand cools and new inventory comes in. Since when is a 0.4% price reduction significant?
It's not. It
okay.
isn't.
Just checking. Oh,
the government agency needs a budget increase.
The following 51 Texas metro areas: Abilene, a reduction of 0.1%, Alice, 2.4%. The worst number on here is Big Spring. Do you know where Big Spring is?
No.
It's in the Texas Panhandle. I think Big Spring has a size. Oh, wait, Zapata also, which is in the valley, negative 2.6. I think Big Spring has a metro area of about 200,000 people. That's a metro area. And that's the worst reduction in January. Let's go down and see what they're predicting by October. Oh, shit. Big Spring's actually going to see a reduction, and so is Alice, according to them. But really, most of the other parts of Texas are going to maintain their values equal to what they are now. Do we need to read any more?
No.
Yeah.
No. First paragraph summed it up.
Guys, I mean, that's the thing. And that's why we do this, because Newsweek, this big major news organization, headlines, doom and gloom, January 6th. Yeah,
hey man, they're going out of business, right? Isn't every news organization going out of business now? It's so crazy.
Because of shit like this, they should. I mean, this is horrible. I mean, whatever. Look, we have, okay, and now I'm going to put it into context. Our interest rates are, on average, 0.6% higher at this point than they were last year. And the doom and gloom article is predicting a stable housing market for Austin, Texas, and most of Texas for that matter. Do you remember last year at this time we were doing these shows and everybody nationally was talking about how the real estate market was going to completely shit the bed in 2024? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, what happened this year in Austin? Austin had a bad housing market this year. I think we lost about 5% in value.
Oh,
that was bad for Austin. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, pockets were down 20, obviously, and especially luxury market. Yeah, that's true. They were really, I mean, yeah, we had a down year, and it's going to explode or implode next year, but it's going to be stable. Okay.
I remember a few years ago when it was 5%, and the gurus of smart out there were predicting that we'd be, we're at 5 now, but we're going to be right back down to 3% by the end of the year. It's like, well, okay, well, you're completely wrong. We're like 8.
Yeah.
And I've had several numbers guys, specifically clients that like to argue with me, and one of them, he and I made a bet that we would get to 10%, and we never made it.
You never
me.
got that.
I was wrong. He thought we'd never make it to double digits, but I mean, I thought we got pretty close there for a while.
I mean, we were close, and I'm trying to
an investment person. You could have been in the 9s pretty easily.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I'm trying to find this other article. Dang it. As we're going. So can I laugh and talk trash about you while we're doing this?
Oh, sure. Great. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Why don't you, that other article's not going to pop up. I lost that tab already. So let's talk about what we were talking about ahead of time. You're buying a Tesla, my friend.
Oh, I was like, why are we doing this, Chris? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yes, I am. My car is a little too small for the family, and we can just leave it at that. And so we've decided
to tell everybody what you drive. Come on.
So well, look, my dad worked for General Motors for 33 years. Okay, and so I like to buy GM. I just do, and I also got a.
Nobody's going to fault you for that, dude.
Well, I mean, hey, man, I love my dad, and and we also got a family discount, so that didn't hurt either, right? It was like $1,600 off the last, $3,200 car kind of thing, so it wasn't huge, but it was nice. It was something, it's good. I'm not complaining about it, and so he has lost that family discount, and came to visit and was like, well, we were telling him we just don't have enough space because I have this the Chevy Bolt EV, so it's tiny, you know. It does 260 miles to the gallon, right? And we had a truck before that, you know, et cetera, right? But like at the end of the day, man, it's, you know, we wanted something bigger.
Yeah.
And we went to go look at Teslas, and I was blown away by the car. I felt like I was driving in like a Model T, you know, Ford Model T, where everyone else was driving spaceships. It was just the weirdest thing in the world.
Oh, okay.
Feeling so inadequate after walking away and then getting back in the car. I was like, oh my God, you know, I thought my car was great. My car sucks compared to this other car. Anyways, but what really pissed me off, I really like good sales. I enjoy salespeople that help other people find what they're looking for. You know, help me save weeks off the process. Just come on, man. But when you purposely misguide people, mislead them, it just pisses me off, right?
Right.
And then I'll tell you, as a side note, as a pet peeve, what pisses me off even more is when those people make more money than me. I mean, how do you do that? And you're going to hell, right? Like, I guess that's why, but whatever. For whatever reason, that's a selfish thing that I need to work on. That's a personal problem.
Exactly.
Anyway, you know, we're looking at the price of the car, right? And I'm like, you know, let's look at the new one because I've heard the leases are great. You know, I went online, it says $200 a month for the lease. Well, it's not really $200 a month. Yeah, but it says $200 a month. What are you talking about? Well, you mean the tax credit? Is that? Do I have to do that later? Well, kind of. You know, that is also one of our things that we've added there. But also we're just estimating, because we know how much everybody drives. We're just estimating that you're going to probably drive, you know, and spend about $100 every month on gas. So that's what you're not going to have to do anymore. So it's really $300 a month for your lease, but we're just kind of pretending that you're going to save $100 a month
for shits and giggles.
What? Okay. The other thing, okay, fine. Instead of leasing, how about I buy the car? Let's buy it. Right. Okay. Same thing. So now you have $7,500 off for the tax credit, and then $6,000 for the gas. We're not estimating a month or a year now. We're gonna move out 5 years. So we're gonna assume you're gonna own the car for 5 years.
You're gonna own the car.
And so your $36,000 car is really $30,000. Yeah, okay, but what happens when I get to closing and you need my money? Can I just bring you 30? No, you got to bring us 36, moron. Okay, but you said right here it's $30,000. Yeah, but you got to read the fine print. It's like I can't stand that stuff. It drives me so crazy.
Wait. I have a Meritage home that has spray foam full envelope insulation. It's got a SEER 18 HVAC unit and over a 1970 home that has single pane windows. It'll save you $500 a month in electric costs. So I'm not really renting it to you for $2,500 a month. I'm going to rent it to you for $2,000 a month.
So what you're going to do then is, instead of saying your home is worth $300,000, it's really worth $480,000, right? But we're going to tell you it's worth $300,000 because you know, hey, you're going to save that over 30 years.
Yeah.
What is this now? Are you guys offering to find and negotiate new car purchase? It's like, yeah. No, I just want to break some kneecaps. It's really all I want to. I want to turn into a baseball bat wielding person for like 5 minutes and then go back home and feel conscious about it. I don't think it's possible, but it would be nice now to talk about it out loud.
But think about, like, seriously, think about that with you. If you're like, hey, I can get you a half point better, a half percentage.
You know what?
Better rate on your interest.
Could have been the best deal in the world, and we decided to buy a used one. Sorry, I just, screw you. So, and then we went on to Carvana, and man, all this online stuff that's supposed to make it easy, they screwed up one of my documents.
And it brings it down an elevator to you?
Oh no, they screwed up one of my documents today that I had to sign. So, okay, this is wrong. I'll decline it. Okay, declined it. Turns out you're not supposed to decline incorrect documents. You're supposed to just sign them and deal with it, kid. So fine. I try to call them. There is no phone number. I can go to an automated chat bot. Okay, then the chat bot's like, wow, you're really effed. You should probably talk to a real person. I'm like, yeah, thanks. So it gives me a link that I can click on to talk to a real person. Cool. So I talk to the real person. He tells me to sign it again. All right, bro. Wait, I've been doing DocuSign now for like 15 years professionally.
Steve, it's 2025. Did you just assume his gender?
I hate you.
By the way, if you're still around watching the show right now, you're our kind of people, so just hang out and ask questions and laugh and talk crap in the chat. It's all good.
I really do love you, though. You're fine. But then he tells me, listen, sir, this is your fault, and you need to contact DocuSign to have them fix your document for you.
What?
For like 2 seconds, I entertain the idea, and I get to this, customer service section that has this giant red banner that says, "We have changed to complete automation, and if you're not a paying client, we're not talking to you. You can go to our FAQ." Wow. Okay. Well, I've already signed the financing documents it's got a start date, all the rest, right? And now they're not going to bring the car because I can't sign this document that they screwed up. And so they were like, so I finally get back to the guy. I'm like, look, texting, hitting a screen really freaking hard, just, right. So I'm just sitting there texting all angry. And what is this? Never mind. Sounds like you're good at it. No, it's not talking. Don't pressure me. No. So anyways, long story short, I had to get an underwriter who he said would take 3 days. And I'm like, no, it's going to be today. We're going to do this today. He finds somebody, the dude comes on, they have to start the whole process over again. He's like, you might not get your car anymore, sir, on the right day. It could be later. It's like, oh my God. Can you imagine? I mean, just what happened to customer service? What happened to people? I want to talk to a person. I don't want to text. Anyways, I'm finished now. I'm done.
By the way, we've got a very fun message here. Would you like to read this?
Is it about how crazy I am? Yeah, sure.
Dude, this is
do it.
Are you ready?
Do it. I'm ready.
All right. Republican politics, oppression, overbuilding, bad education for children, and no new people moving to Texas is a recipe for housing decline. California is expected to increase to 904,000. I don't know what that is. By the way, we're still having a net positive inflow of people moving out of California into Texas. Sorry, it's data. That's just what it is. People are still moving here, especially when all the companies like Elon's companies are moving here and people are leaving. So
we try to keep politics out of this, to be honest.
Yeah, we try, but I mean, when it's just wrong information, it's wrong information. Sorry.
Well, the older I get, man, if you really argue with both sides, they both have pretty good arguments, depending on who you're speaking with, how educated they are.
Yeah,
and it's, when you ignore one side, it just makes the other side angrier. In my experience, so I think we all need to work together.
I don't mind like arguing facts, but I mean, maybe California's housing prices are expected to go up because they do every year. But we can argue about the causation.
Honestly, I'm not sure I really care. I don't need to be number one. We don't have to be growing all the time. We don't have to be the best. And quite frankly, people are flawed, man. We're always growing and learning, and I love it down here. But it doesn't mean everybody has to. So clearly, that person is not very happy with Texas, and they don't have to be. So that's fine.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, and I mean that's one of the reasons that Texas is still a place where people are moving is because we're not the top of the housing market. That's kind of a good thing, I would think. Let's see. Mark's asking, what do you think the market makers could do to prevent a crash? Whoa, all right, Steve.
Nothing.
That's a legit question.
Nothing. That's pretty pessimistic, isn't it?
But that's kind of par for the course for you. You're kind of typically a little bit doom and gloom. I'm just going to say.
I don't think you can. I think the market is like a river, metaphorically, and I think you can, maybe dig a little trench around, but like you can't move the whole river, kind of thing. I think it's going to move where it's going to move, and if a storm comes through and the water's crashing down, like an inflation storm, let's say, right? Because one of those things I wanted you to read today was the orange juice price, the price of orange juice. What it's done.
I got that. Yeah.
So like another great question in line with this one, how would you get out of the way of the price of, how would you be a market maker and change, the inflation numbers from, say the grocery store, right? Well, there's a few things we can do to offset certain things, but I don't think you can change the massive storm, right? Like for instance, we just learned about the jobs over the last year. Chris and I, and pretty much anybody in finance has been joking for at least 18 months or so, probably more, about how crooked the numbers are, because we have other sources that are just wildly off from the government sources, and it's like, okay, well, somebody in the government is doing something fishy, period, right? That's the nicest we can be about.
It's been plain as day.
And now it's finally come out. They dumped all these oops numbers, and it's not even the truth. Actually, one of the other feds audited the New York Fed and found that that they were not accurate in their numbers. I don't want to call them liars. They're effing liars. And they released horrible data to the tune of about 1 million jobs over roughly a year, a little more than a year. Which really means we've been in a horrible recession instead of just, almost maybe a recession, but people just change the definition. No, it's been really bad. And the people have been told otherwise. They've been lied to about it. Well, you do that kind of stuff, and bankers with money are like, give me that back. We're going to hold on to it for a while. Yeah. I don't really trust what's going on right now. And look, we can blame whoever you want to, but you don't make the people happy with money, then they don't give you their money. So,
right.
Here we are today, high rates. I think rates are going up. I work with a guy who thinks they're going down next year, but I think they're going up.
Well, I think they'll stay fairly stable over the year. And let's I'm going to be completely honest. January of last year, I thought we were going to have 5% at the end of 2024.
We both did.
Because I didn't think the numbers were as cooked as they are. Sorry,
we got back possible. It still doesn't really seem possible with all our checks and bounds that you can get away with it. So there'll be a movie written about it. It'll be skewed just like all the rest of them. But there'll be something.
But I'll answer Mark. Like what I think the market makers. Yeah, I think Steve is kind of right. I think we're going to end up paying a price for all the BS that we've been seeing with numbers. And I think it's going to happen sooner than later. But I think to prevent a crash, that it's just a matter of
you want a real answer?
Correct.
You want a real answer? So
I think so.
The Big Short, the movie The Big Short, right? The whole movie was about the big crash, about how lenders were forcing people into loans or giving them loans they could never afford. But in 2014, our own government released a report. I challenge you to look it up. That report basically stated what the main problem they felt was of the crash, right, of 2008, and that's a pretty broad. So it's not just 2008; it was a few years. But
right.
But they in general said that more than 80% of the problem could be attributed to large scale investors like BlackRock, and they mentioned them by name in the report.
Yep.
Okay, you want the market movers to fix this? Get BlackRock and the big guys out of the game, but you can't. They have too much power. There's no way to get them.
If you get them out of the game and they liquidate, everything comes crashing down. You don't want them out of the game.
I mean, it's an impossible question for me to answer. I'm not smart enough, but I do think I'm pessimistic enough to tell you it would never work. But I hope I'm wrong.
Right.
And I don't like that attitude. I hope I'm wrong.
So Tom responded. And Tom said 2022, basically the money's drying up and the people are not moving from California as much. But again, Tom, what you were just saying up here was that California is increasing and Texas is about to die. But you've still got a net positive coming into Texas from California, which made my point. So it's not 54,000 people a year is a hell of a lot of people coming in. And there's really the net migration into California isn't coming from other states. The net migration into California is coming from overseas. So, I guess you're coming out to the positive because you're importing people from overseas. Good, I guess, for California, but you're still losing to Texas and other U.S. states. I don't know what the overall idea is there, but that's just what
basically stating that the influx of people is slowing down. The party's over. But I think we've also established that in a different way by stating that now that we know the jobs numbers are different, the rates are they're not coming down like people thought. People are still holding onto their homes. We're in a recession. It's clear as day that we're in a recession. People don't start moving around during recessions. They don't have money, right? Yeah. Some of them do, obviously, but you move around when you've got the money to sell everything and move everything. And
let's be honest. During COVID, you were buying second homes and third homes and all this other stuff. That just is what it is. And here we got another good one from YouTube. U.S. is the most corrupted in the whole world. Screwing, that's
where are these people coming from? We've never had any kind of comments like that, and tonight we have a few.
Yeah, seriously, we got to call this out because this is hyperbolic. Seriously, do you think that Syria is less corrupt than the U.S.? Do you think Turkey is less corrupt than the Ukraine? Come on. I get the hyperbole, but
you're taking offense to it. I wonder why these people say what they're saying.
If you're gonna make a comment, at least is the U.S. corrupt? Absolutely, politicians are corrupt as hell. But we don't need hyperbole to say that.
But you and I aren't representing the United States. We're talking about the Austin mortgage market in a context of like being at a bar as a lender and a realtor, just shooting the S. You know, we don't have to defend the United States. So sorry you feel that way, bro. I'm sorry you feel that the United States is super corrupt, but I don't really care, honestly.
There you go.
Let's move on.
So this is the other thing we wanted to get to. So this is from Zero Hedge. And again, Zero Hedge usually has a pretty conservative lean, but they have 44 statistics that are too crazy to believe for 2024. So Steve and I wanted to talk through a few of these. Some of the ones that stood out to me, Census Bureau says 37% of Americans are having trouble paying their most basic bills. And this is going back to what Mark had said a while ago. Market movers. What can we do? Well, can you do anything if people can't pay their bills? Bank of America, a third of households spend more than 95% of their disposable incomes on necessities such as housing, groceries, and utility bills. That's nuts, man. Like, that's freaking insane. This is what Steve was referring to. Price of orange juice is up 327% over the last 3 years. Wait a minute, dude.
No, we're told 30% for groceries. That has to be wrong.
We've been told over and over and over that this isn't happening.
Right. We're told 10 times less than that.
Yeah.
Got to be wrong. Our government would never lie to us.
No, absolutely not. Number 14, it takes $100,000 a year for a typical household to, quote, live the American dream in all 50 states.
See, I don't like this all opinion crap. I want the Census Bureau stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Because then you're no better than the people that are like, the United States is corrupt. Okay, well, cool. I don't care. Moving on, right? Like, let's look at some facts, right?
Yeah, that's fine. And so that's my bad because it's not citing in here, and I'm assuming that Zero Hedge actually did.
Sorry,
so
it's one of my pet peeves. I don't mean to attack you.
No, you're good. I mean, they do have links. So this is
to articles that have been written about them, but most of them are opinion pieces. If you go down, anything with Census Bureau on it.
Oh, CNBC. Okay,
that's actually nice if they link to somebody else.
Yeah, right. That's actually pretty impressive. What were the other ones that I was looking at?
You sent the text with the numbers that you liked.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. This is a poll, but I thought this was interesting. Only 10% of Americans believe that becoming a homeowner is easy or somewhat easy. Interesting poll. And then
I was about to say something like I have a bridge to sell you, but I actually have a house to sell you. Like that's
right.
And there's ways. You want it, you call us. We will find you a way. Assuming you have some sort of ability to do, to buy a house, right? Like you've got to actually have some.
Okay, here's
some skin of the game, but it's not that tough.
Yeah. Census Bureau, 29% of U.S. households were one-person households. Kind of hard.
I didn't understand that. It didn't make sense to me. Why even say that? So
well, I think it's talking a little bit about like affordability, right? Because think about trying to afford, and whether if it's rents going up or housing prices or mortgages or whatever. I mean, think about that as a one-person household.
Well, the number 30 hit me hard. That one hit me really hard.
From 2019 to 2024, there was a 10% jump in those living paycheck to paycheck. I was going to say the other thing I've been reading articles on, and I don't have one linked.
Ooh, number 28 too. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the articles that I've been reading, and it goes straight to that, is how the savings is just shrinking. The amount of money that Americans have in savings is shrinking.
Yeah, the 27 and 28 were just devastating. Yeah. If you don't think we're in a recession, you're just a fool. I mean, look at these.
Business bankruptcies up 40%. Yep. Manhattan office building. What is that? Holy cow. I can't even do that math quickly.
Sold for $332 million in 2006. Remember where we were in 2006, right? Just sold for $8.5 million.
I think that's like 2.5. I think that's 2.5%, if I'm doing my numbers right. This is the one that we both laughed at. Where was it?
Oh, Fartcoin. I didn't laugh. Well, I laughed at first, and then I almost cried. Think about it.
It's terrible. Wait, where the heck is it? Oh, number 34. Market cap of Fartcoin is $973 million. Office Depot.
Fartcoin?
Fartcoin's a made-up coin. It's like the one that Hawk Tuah girl made.
So, meanwhile, Office Depot's market capitalization is $680 million, like a third less than Fartcoin, which is Fugazi. Think of Bugatti. It's nothing. It's just made up.
It's whatever the heck it is. That's insane. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we can keep going down this. Are there any other ones that stood out to you?
I don't know.
Not really for me. Those are the main ones. Sperm counts falling by 50%, but I
Oh, the
don't know.
plastic one really bothered me. The very last one.
So I didn't read this. I mean, I read it, but I didn't read the article.
So read 43 and 44.
Yep. Our brains are slowly but surely filling up with plastic. One team of scientists discovered that human brain samples from 2024 had concentrations of microplastics 50% higher than brain samples from 2016. And then if the amount of plastic in our brains continue to rise at a rate of 50% every 8 years, I mean, that's kind of projection, right? But 28% of our brains will be plastic 80 years from now, and everybody will be dead.
We'll be dead, right? So in other words, we're killing ourselves slowly. We're not really sure why or how. We kind of think it might be plastics, right? But the sperm count thing, we're not really sure on that either.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't get identified and stopped quickly, global warming be damned, or climate change be damned. I mean, that'll kill us before the climate change ever does.
Yeah. I'm gonna pop a couple of these other ones up as we're going. S&P fell to $3,600 in October, and everybody thought we were doomed. And then boom, and I don't even know what it closed the year at, but it was insane.
Now, that's a really good example of a market maker, right? A government giving every household in the United States, $6,000, for instance. It's tough for a market maker to really impact that. You can get that armor, but we're not going to knock it over, right?
Yeah.
When BlackRock, et cetera, decides to invest in, say, like Bitcoin, like it just recently did with the ETFs, well, yeah, bro, boom, huge market mover. Yes. If you're asking me about real estate, though, how are we going to move the markets? Right now, you have I'm just going to say roughly half the people out there that don't want to sell and will never sell until rates get lower because they've got such a good deal, right? So then the other half,
interest.
Well, here, my brother-in-law bought 1 acre in Texas in 23 for $90K. 2016 it's 11.
Yeah, and that's I mean, look, COVID completely wrecked Texas with everybody moving in and buying.
Juan, the question to you: do you think that's because the values went up or because inflation happened?
That is such a loaded question. You're dirty, man.
No, I'm very, very curious.
Yeah. And yeah, becoming a homeowner is easy. And he said, at least for me, it was.
It was very easy if you have reasonable expectations. If you want to live on, MTV Cribs and have a place by the lake, you better be able to back up. You know what I mean? Then we're not going to be having that conversation, right? But dude, we can get your house, right? For most people.
Got you. Inflation.
Yeah. So I agree with you, Juan. Yeah. I 100% agree with you. I don't think the values have changed at all. In fact, I think what you're seeing, if you even look at the slowdown of inflation, I don't think deflation is causing the prices to come down. I think common sense and coming back to reality and just markets snapping back into place, once they kind of like a rubber band, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it before about how, I mean, hell, orange juice is up 327%. Go look at your grocery bill. One of the other stats in Zero Hedge was like the average, I don't know if it was Florida or Miami, average grocery shopping for a family was $370 per trip. Like, really?
Right. But if you look at in between the lines, right, we know Florida had a major freeze in the last couple of years that took out a lot of their crops. So of course the prices are going up. Like cocoa and coffee beans will do the same thing, right? Because they've had a shortage here recently.
Yeah. Mark, so don't say that out loud, man. Come on.
What, coffee?
No. That they could easily increase money supply and the casinos back open.
Well, Mark, what do you do? Mark, you're smart. I'll tell you, brother, the only way they're getting out of this is doing that. And if you look historically at pretty much every civilization ever that's been in our situation where like our currency kind of rules, right? When they get into trouble, the politicians have two options. One, it's like punish the people for 10 years and make them suffer, and then we'll be fine. Or just kind of put a Band-Aid on it. And you just described what the Band-Aid is. And that's the reason why we've lost roughly 99% of our value of our dollar in your realtor.
Here's your answer.
Together.
Here's
We
your
just,
answer.
you
Mark
should
the
you should call me
realtor.
for everything. No, but that's why we've lost 99% of your dollar, since the 70, I think 71 or whatever. And by the way,
Yeah.
Mark, we should at least have a drink, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
God, I wish your name was Leroy with that last name. And if you don't get that, we don't have to discuss it. That's fine.
I love that. And Audra said we refinanced during COVID and rates are crazy low. Will we ever see it again? No, Audra. This is why I keep telling you and Darren,
Yeah, Audra,
not to sell your house.
I
Do not
hate
sell
that you
that
asked
house.
that question, because out loud I then have to tell you there is a possibility that rates may go that low again. But if they do, it's going to be a big problem.
Yeah.
With the amount of debt we have right now as a country, that's our number one rate squashing force right now. In fact, Mark, you want a market mover, we could get rid of some of the debts, or if somehow, which I think is we don't need to get into politics, but if somehow this Doge division of Doge or whatnot can cut the government spending by 50%, which I don't think they've discussed, but if they can get it down to 50%, I think you will see rates soar again, and I mean soar in the bottom directions, like 2.5%, 3.5%.
Yeah.
If the world thinks the United States is getting their act together and paying off their debts and not spending way more than they're making, the world will start having more confidence in us. But if you start looking at some of the reasons why the world is losing confidence in us, it's mainly because we're just we're wielding our power in ways that, I'm sorry, I'm trying to be PC about this. We're wielding our power in ways that are very unfair to the rest of the world. And hey, it goes into the comment from earlier, the United States is corrupt. Well, you know what? You're not wrong. And when you own the currency that the world uses, and you got a few people that are in bad play, huge positions that are evil, flat out evil. And I don't mean like possessed by the devil. I just mean man, they'd rather make money than they don't really care about the kids. We're gonna feed our family kind of evil, like selfish kind of evil. Man, you can run into a lot of problems like we have today. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, guys, we do this every Monday. We had a heck of a crowd today. Every Monday, 5:00. It will be something different that we're talking about next week. And keep the comments coming, even if you catch this after the fact.
That was fun, even if I think they're stupid and I don't want to participate. I like them. They're good.
And even if I'm a jerk sometimes, because I am, but you're going to get the authentic me. That's a fact. But anyway, we will see you next Monday. Appreciate it, Steve.